So this lecture is about the history of the ways that we segregate and control people with disabilities. And so we'll start out by talking about how we used to do this in numerous ways, through prisons, through poorhouses, through the growth of the medical institutions. And over time, a lot of those other forms have disappeared or lessened, and now we rely really heavily on the prison system. My sister has a disability, and so that was my entry into disability services, disability supports, disability politics. And then through that, I have gotten to know an array of amazing people with disabilities with so many skills and so many things that they could bring to society. So for me, my big passion is building inclusive societies, building ways for people to be successful in education, in the workforce, in the political field, right? Being able to do what they want to do and to be supported in it. And so one of the things I usually do is think about building those social supports. Here we're thinking about some of the less positive ways that we respond to disability, often because of the lack of support. The scholars are great. It's Liat Ben-Moshe, who is at the University of Toledo. She's in one of the only programs that has a PhD in disability studies, and Chris Chapman is a social worker up in Toronto in Canada. I think the lecture is really relevant to so many different programs. It's relevant to history because of that historical element. It's relevant to sociologists, to social workers who are interested in social policy. The disability studies minor is building connections with the criminal justice department, and so this is one way to show the criminal justice students how relevant disability will be for them in that field. Disability affects so many different areas, and then once you bring in the criminal justice system and you think about it broadly in terms of how do we address disability in our society, so it hits these much broader questions, not just criminal justice, but how do we want to think about disability and respond to it in our society.